All right, guys. Day 10, LSU fall camp is in the books. Day 10, as you know, they look pitiful. The receiving group, they struggled, man. They struggled on day 9 on Saturday. They just, Nuss couldn't hit water out of a boat, and guys were dropping passes. I was losing my shit, saying guys need to run laps and Kelly needs to blow the whistle and they need to start playing catch. I was just losing my shit. I don't know the final numbers. It seemed like Nuss was like 5 for 30. You know, it was ridiculous. It was bad. But it would appear that it was a great day for the offense. Nuss got his groove back. He was firing on all cylinders, and the receivers were responding. From what I hear, it was a no-nonsense kind of day in practice. If the ball wasn't catchable, okay, but if it hit your hands, you dropped it, you was running laps. If you jumped off sides, you was running laps. So Coach Kelly came with his look, y'all gonna get ready, y'all gonna get ready now approach. You know, the game is not years away, it's around the corner. And Bel-Air, boy, am I ready. I know y'all ready too. God damn, I'm ready. So, video clip of Coach Baker talking about his defense. Particular, we all want to know about the explosiveness of Bernard Gooden, and he lays into that. Blake Ruffino asked him a question about that. Shout out to Blake for asking the questions that we all want to know. Matt Moscano, we got some clips of him talking about practice, what he saw with the receivers over there at AFR. And we're just going to diagnose the practice, and I'm going to give y'all some of my thoughts on, the back and forth. I really, really do like to see defense win one day, offense bounce back. I like the back and forth. I mean, because we can't have a one-sided team. You know, we seen 2023 what happens when you do that. We can't have a one-sided team. And for them to be going back and forth at it at practice, iron sharpens iron. They still have like 2 more weeks to really get at it. It seems like, they're sharpening iron. Video real quick of Matt Moscano over there at AFR. He's going to get into it about the receivers and Nuss coming on fires with 3 particular receivers. Check it out.
Working on. I'll tell you, in all the notes I took, there were 3 really big offensive standouts on this day that would have been impossible for anyone to miss. Trades Green, Xavier Thomas, Barrion Brown. We've mentioned Barrion Brown a lot throughout fall camp because he's been pretty exceptional. Today was no different. When they were indoors, they did the wide receiver DB drill. We've told you about it before. It's a one-on-one drill. Quarterback in the middle of the field, receiver, defensive back to either side, and they're running a one-on-one route. Trades beat Harold Perkins twice, so they started at the 40, then they went to the 20, and then they went to the 5, and so everybody got 3 reps. Trades beat Harold Perkins on the first 2 reps. When they went to the 5, they put him on A.J. Halsey. Same thing, scored all 3 times. Xavier Thomas was, he beat Mansour Delane 3 times. He was awesome in this drill. And then Barrion Brown, he caught a one-handed touchdown grab over P.J. Woodland, who was yanking his jersey. He had another touchdown on P.J. Woodland in the red zone drill, and then from the 5-yard line, he didn't rep from the 5, but then he did, Barrion Brown, when they went to 7-on-7. Brown scored a touchdown on the back line and would have had a second touchdown, but for PI, and it was, who grabbed him? It was P.J. Woodland. Anyway, so P.J. Woodland is pretty handsy, y'all. Like, he ain't scared. P.J. Woodland ain't scared to yank that jersey to where your shoulder pad's exposed. Woodland has had some nice plays in fall camp, but he was handsy today. They also, when they went 11 on 11, and I'll run through the play-by-play of the 11 on 11, but the first team offense punctuated their drive with a 28-yard touchdown pass from Nus Meyer to Barry and Brown. Brown go route down the right sideline, and he beat Ashton Stamps, and Nuss dropped it in a bucket. It was pretty spectacular. And I don't want to leave Xavier Thomas out because Xavier Thomas was pretty awesome as well. In the 7-on-7, he had 3 receptions, including a touchdown reception in the 7-on-7 where he ran a go route and beat Ashton Stamps. It was a day where those 3 guys were pretty special. Trades Green when they were indoors doing the wide receiver DB drills. From the 5, he ran a shallow cross. I'm sorry, this was from the 20. He ran a shallow cross, and Perkins was on him, and Nuss threw a fastball, and Trades, again, coming from left to right, so Nuss in the middle of the field, Trades on his left, coming across his face, threw a fastball that, might have gone into the weight room if he had let it go, but Trades just full extension, and made the reception, which goes to show you, man, the catch radius, the ability.
Yeah, so there you have it. That was Matt Moscano giving you the rundown on the 3 receivers. That was Trades Green, Xavier Thomas, and Barrier Brown. Barrier Brown, excuse me. Seemed like all these guys have been doing really good in camp. Sometimes as a running back, a quarterback, it's not just about, if they could keep you upright, if they could keep Nuss upright and he can get them the ball. You want a mix of that, and you want a mix of them coming and him being used to being nimble and running around. Because what happens when guys are just stiff statues in the pocket all day long? They think they can do too much, and then when the pressure does come, it's like, holy shit, we don't need that kind of. I feel like that's what we had with Nuss last year. Now they're really coming strong, bringing him about. I believe there was a situation in practice where the C's parted up, and he just took off for like 15 yards up the middle. 1 or 2 times like that in the game, moving the chains. And look, we don't need it on irrelevant downs, but when the game is on the line, it's crazy, it's 3rd and 6, and what kind of play are we going to get? We got to pass the ball. The C's opening up, and Nuss is like, fuck it. He goes and gets 15. We're on our own 45 now, Now we're on the 30. You know what I mean? Or they're 45. Now we're on the 30 in field goal range. So, shit like that change. Consistently to be able to do that just keeps points stacking up on the board. Yeah, we had a lot of yards last year, but relatively speaking, for how many yards he's thrown, we didn't have a whole lot of points on offense. And that's really what sucked. I felt like even though our defense wasn't that great last year, they were so much better than the year before that I really felt like, our defense really did enough. Tell the truth. And if this defense, which I know they'll be, can do just a little better than that defense last year, then we'll just need an offense that can put points on the board. That's really what it comes down to. Nuss, come with your A game. Fuck that B game. Put the team on your back. It's 36. We don't need a 30-yard bomb. Whether you got to run it, spin it, do a backflip, Jackie Chan that shit over the first line, whatever the hell you got to do to get the team, keep the chains moving. That's the sign of a champion, a competitor. It's really about being a competitor. You know what I mean? Like this is, not you control that ball in your hands as a quarterback. You got to have the Midas touch. And yeah, if you're fucking Billy Cannon, loose cannon with it, it can get away from you quick. You got to be composure. Gotta have that composure, and I think he's really coming along here with everything he needs to do. Next video I'm gonna throw at you is Blake Baker, defensive coordinator of LSU. Mr. Ruffino. Shout out to Blake Ruffino. He's asking always those tough questions. And really just the questions that are on people's mind. This wasn't a tough question, but he asked about Mr. Gooden. Let's see if I can get Mr. Gooden's first name here. Mr. Bernard Gooden. He's just been eating the fucking lunch over offensive linemen in practice. Now I wonder, is that because he stacked up against Josh and he stacked up against who's that other offensive lineman we have? Chester. And those guys are the ones who struggle. I mean, what happens when you put them over center against Moore? You know, I mean, I don't know. He's a little underweight, but this guy is in the backfield 24/7. He wasn't even expected to start. I think when it comes to Gooden, when it comes to Stevens, that safety that we got, that's like maybe second on the depth chart, third. When it comes to Kern, offensive lineman, I think all three of those guys got to see the field early. Kern, I hear you out there, Blake, saying that he needs to get his ass in there if Josh and what's his name is struggling, Chester. I saw where Kern keeps jumping off sides. Coach put him out. Next day of practice, throw him in there, see what he can do. Jump off sides. Now they got him running. He can't be a liability. And once they could trust that he's not going to be a liability, I think he's going to see the field immediately. I would like to see a heavy dosage in game time of rotating. Maybe a quarter for Kern, a quarter for Chester, you know, Thomas, a rotation there. And with Stevens. And with Mr. Gooden. Speaking of Mr. Gooden, I'm going to shoot you to the tape that Blake has on Mr. Gooden. Check it out.
Prideful group, those three freshmen in particular. I'm coaching them probably harder than anyone on the field, and they're probably about sick of me by now, but they keep showing up every day and coming to work, so that's all we can ask.
Coach, Bernard Gooden has been flashing a lot, very twitchy, off the ball really fast. What is it for him in the run game specifically with his size, but yet being able to push the pocket in the interior that you've seen in like?
Yeah, I love. That was a great pickup. Bernard Gooden has been a joy in every sense of the word to coach. He is high energy. Y'all probably hear him more than anyone on the field. But in today's game, you know, you even look in the NFL, there's not many, you know, a lot of really, really successful defensive tackles are going to be between 280 and 305 pounds. The thing that he does really well, because he is so twitchy and has such good get-off, his second foot's in the ground before the offensive lineman. So even though he might be giving up 30 pounds, he's able to get leverage and get power, and the offensive lineman doesn't have his second foot in the ground. So, you know, one of the things that we did through the evaluation process, obviously being an undersized guy, is really evaluate him hard against the run, and we really liked what we saw, and we really, really like what we see up to this point. He's done a great job creating havoc in home.
All right, so you heard that. Blake thinks highly of Mr. Gooden, and so do we. And we like to see him in the game. I think this is going to be one of the best defenses LSU's had in years. And Nuss, I don't know if the boy knows. He doesn't have to do all kind of magical shit like literally Jaden Daniels did. And Burrow, he did, but he didn't because he had awesome receivers to help him. Just outstanding receivers. Nuss don't have to do nothing but what he did last year, minus his mistakes, which were like very evident and obvious to all of us, because it's easy looking from the stands, looking from fucking the potato couch with my chips. Like, fuck that. Me, I don't want to be around nobody unless it's family. I'm not being in the bar watching games with idiots who don't know football. They'll sit there, talk their shit, give up on the team after 2 plays. Like, man, I'm lock and loaded. I'm analyzing every game. I'm saying to myself where I think the ball should go, and if they actually get that play called. Like, give you an instance, when we in 2019 played Texas, it was like 3rd and 6. We've tried everything, and I said, man, we need a slant across the middle, catch it, maybe go up the sideline for a touchdown. He did it. My friend was right there. He's like, holy shit, you called that. Another play, I was like, when they scored, I was like, man, they probably gonna slip a tailback to the left and try to catch them. They did it. They missed the pass. My friend was like, holy shit. There was actually 3 plays I called in that game, and that dude is a witness to it. And so I think I know a little bit about a little bit. So I kind of like, just for myself, watching the games and analyzing during the middle of the game, just to see how much are we connecting, and then if we're connecting, how much are the right plays being sent in. You know what I mean? Because you can have all the good receivers and quarterbacks, running backs, but the right plays for the right downs aren't being sent in, and it just fucks it all up. So it's not basketball. You put the ball in one guy's hands, clear out, and fucking he can win the game for you just like that. Football, it's like a lot of moving parts. All have to be working in sync, and even including people who ain't even in the fucking game. You know what I mean? Like, everything has to be in sync, and so that's what it is. This season, y'all, is going to be really exciting. And look, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. 360 LSU Football with me, your host, Johnny Caruso. It don't get any better. Go Tigers.